is TV is about time. Okay,
Right.
they will cut you off if if time is running out. So time ran out on him. He just has to understand that. And I'm like Bill, they would have cut off Taker, Hogan, anybody.
I do want to bring up some I don't know if it's sad news, but it's unfortunate news to hear that Buff Bagwell recently had his right leg amputated after trying all kinds of other surgeries and things to try to save it. He just finally came down and said, you know what? It's got to go because everything else is in front of me. It's going to be much harder if I don't just, amputate the leg. And that came out over the weekend, man. It was a shock because I don't think anybody, and Bill, and Teddy, maybe you've heard of it, but I didn't hear anything about his leg possibly having to be amputated. Have you heard that story?
No, I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah, I mean,
when I heard this, I was going to really call you because you usually get the scoops, and I was going to ask you about it. But
it actually, I think it came out on, was it Friday night, Bill?
I think it was Friday, yeah.
Yeah, because it was like during the show I was doing that night that I saw a message come in and mentioned that Buff had his leg amputated. And I was like, oh, my God, I had no idea. But it came from a car wreck a long time ago. He said that he had complications. He's had like 20-something surgeries, I think he said, already on that leg. Yep. And it just got to the point. He was like, okay, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, so, well, you know what? If he thought this was better for his life to do this, then it was the right thing to do. It was his decision, obviously. Also, want to bring up that the great musical character, Ozzy Osbourne, who is also a WWE Hall of Famer in the celebrity division, has died as well. So, wow.
Well, now Buff's not dead.
I know that. When I didn't mean died as well. He died.
I want to mention, Buff over the years, he's had some run-ins, and his attitude hadn't always been the best. And I told him straight up one time, Teddy and I were doing a show with him, and I was talking to him, and I just flat out told him, yeah, you were kind of an the last time I saw you, and he, man, I'm sorry. But he owns up, to what he has done. He's got himself together, and he's cleaned himself up. I love to see that because there are times when guys, you just don't think there's ever going to be any hope for them, and somehow they kick out. And he's one of those guys. And to have to go through losing his leg, it's just something else he's going to contend with. But I believe he will do very well with it. He'll make sure that he's positive about it because he's got a lot of positive people around him right now. Yep. That's what he's needed for a long time. All right. Goldberg, very upset on how his retirement match was handled, specifically his speech getting cut off with less than 30 seconds into it. I thought Goldberg's match was actually very good. I was entertained by it. I thought it was a great way for him to go out. When it came to the match, man, him and Gunther, I thought owned the show. I thought it was really good. But when they cut him off, I think it was like 20-something seconds into his, farewell speech. That's where he is said to have gotten really upset. Now, Bill, you've talked with his son just recently. Gage. Did you ask that question?
I did. And you fans can find it on YouTube's WrestleBinge. But Gage agreed with me, not with his dad, saying that NBC would have cut it off no matter who it was. Bill Goldberg said that he doesn't think they would have done that with The Undertaker or John Cena, but that's not the way it is. NBC Network at 11 o'clock, go to the news no matter what is happening.
Teddy, your thoughts on the speech being cut off?
We talked about it earlier. You remember I told you TV is about time. Okay, right. They will cut you off if time is running out. So time ran out on him. He just has to understand that. And I'm like Bill, they would have cut off Taker, Hogan, anybody.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just being self-aware. You got to know the times that are going on in the ring, and I'm sure the official is in the ear of the boys saying, "Hey, time to take it home." Giving them countdowns, letting them know, we're about to lose TV. So if they know those times, and he knows he's running out of time in order to deliver whatever speech he wanted to give, he needed to shave some time off the match.
Maybe nobody's smarting him up.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's true too. I do think that he probably, after he looks back at it, after he's heard all the different people talk, I would imagine he'd probably agree with everybody else.
He did. He did. He's calmed down about it quite a bit now. he said it was an honor to do the whole thing, and WWE did run it on their social media to follow a few hours later, and he's not so pissed off about it now.
Well, I'm sure, man, that when they after that match was over and they knew he had that promo, they told him, "Hey, Bill, we're running over, so cut that speech down. Okay, all we need is maybe a minute or whatever they told him."
And I saw the actual speech, and to be honest with you, it wasn't much longer than the time that they cut off. It may have been, maybe 30 seconds to a minute longer.
Oh, I thought it was longer. I thought it was about 2 minutes in the whole.
He basically, what he said in the beginning was plenty of time. I thought it was perfectly said.
Yeah, you can't have a 2-minute promo, man. Come on.
No,
it was his farewell speech. That wasn't.
And now again on WWE's part, maybe you should have waited for that farewell speech for Monday Night Raw, because you might have drawn fans over to watch that instead of giving it to them all in one night. That would have made more sense to me.
There you go. That's right. Not give it all to them. You save something for Raw. You know you ain't going to be seen no more after Raw, so do your farewell there.
Yeah,
you know what? I don't think this is his swan song. He said it is. He's put it out there, but I don't think this is the last we're going to see him in the ring. No one's told me anything. I just know that he wanted to go out on his own terms, and I don't know if that happened at Saturday night's meeting.
Well, what do you think his own terms are?
What's that?
What do you think he's looking for that he's not getting?
Just a clean victory.
But that's not the way you should be going out. That's just it. I mean,
I know.
Listen, let me explain this to you. The only thing I think now will work for Goldberg, I think if they try and bring him back now with something else, it just ain't going to work. This is my opinion. Okay, the only thing I think could spark him and set a fire under him is he challenged Bret Hart.
It can't happen. Bret can't work.
When it comes to pay-per-view buys, if those guys ever want a big payday, there's the setup right there.
If Bret can't take any bumps, he can't wrestle, then Bret can always be the special referee.
Yeah, or they can both manage. Maybe Goldberg can manage his son.
No, you put him in the ring, get the win, or whatever they're gonna do now.
They would argue about who wins.
I know where you're going. You're going with Bret. Goes into the corner of Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman, and Gage has Bill. He had talked about originally his retirement going to be in Israel. That's where he wanted to do it. Nothing to do with WWE, just on an independent level. And I think that we still might see him retire for good on an independent level. Just my thought.
Well, that might work, going overseas and having it over there somewhere. Now that's a different story.
Well, it doesn't have to be overseas. It can be here in the United States.
He wanted to go into Italy or something. What did you just say?
Israel, but there's too much trouble there for him to want to do that. He's wanted to do that because he's Jewish and he's honored with his people. But what I'm saying is that he can go to an independent company here in the United States and say, let's do it one more time, and have him kill the opponent and win.
I'm still happy with the way he went out of WWE. I'd leave it alone. It's almost like I think about when Flair had that big send-off in WWE. Man, you're not going to ask for anything better than that. Why would you ever step back in the ring again? And he did. And it kind of, to me, it diminished that entire, send-off that they did for him. And I think that Goldberg needs to be careful, because I'm like Teddy, and Teddy, I think this is what you're trying to say. The fans are not going to like him too much if he tries to come back right now. To the fans, we gave you everything we gave you now. Walk away and be happy. If he comes back now, there's a chance that he might get booed.
The only way there's two ways, I think, and like I said, you can't do anything with Bret, then I'd introduce he need to come back with his son.
Yeah. All right,
or, it could be a face-to-face verbally in a WWE studio. Can you imagine in a studio, Bret Hart, Bill Goldberg, face-to-face with Michael Cole in the middle as the mediator?
As long as they shoot. And I think that's what they're going to have to do. If they ever get them together, let them shoot.
Bring them in to Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast.
There you go.
Let him be the mediator.
There
Stone
you
Cold in
go.
the middle, Bret Hart on the left, Goldberg on the right. And come on, guys, we're going to set this down on the table right now as a shoot. Bret, you say he ended your career. Bill Goldberg, you said you're pissed off because he never lets this go. What's going on? I'd love to see that.
I think I think that, and those are ratings right there. I can promise you that would get clicked.
They could set up, unless like what Bill said, a podcast or whatever interview with Stone Cold. They wouldn't even need a match. That right there would do it.
Yeah.
Yep.